A pleasant morning to everyone present here and a warm welcome to this Eucharistic celebration. The theme for the Mass, Christ's Love Alive Today, will be introduced through a story. Once upon a time, there was an African boy named Emmanuel. He was always asking questions. One day he asked his teacher.
What language does God speak?
His teacher scratched his head and said,
I really don't know.
So Emmanuel asked the same question to learned people of his village, but they didn't know either. Now he became really curious. He traveled around his country and asked the learned people of other villages,
What language does God speak?
but they merely shook their heads. Emmanuel was convinced that someone knew the answer. So he began to travel to other countries. He even traveled to other continents. But the answer was always the same. One night, exhausted by his travel, Emmanuel came to a village called Bethlehem. He tried to get a room in one of the inns, but the rooms were filled. So he decided to look for a cave outside the town. In the early hours of the morning, he finally found one. When he stopped inside the cave, however, he saw it was occupied by a child and a couple. When the young mother saw him, she said,
Welcome, Emmanuel. We have been expecting you.
The boy was stunned. How did the woman know his name? He was even more amazed when she said,
For a long time, you have been searching the world wide to discover what language God speaks. Now your journey is over. Tonight, you see with your own eyes what language God speaks. He speaks the language of love.
Emmanuel's heart overflowed. He fell on his knees before the child and wept for joy. Now he knew what language God speaks. God speaks the language of love. God speaks the one language that every person of every nation, of every period of history can understand. God speaks the language of love. Emmanuel exclaimed, Truly, today God is with us. Christ's love alive today.
When God is born, hope is born. Where God is born, peace is born. And where peace is born, there is no longer room for hatred. Love is the language of God. The Son of God left the riches of heaven to be born in poverty at Bethlehem. He became poor to make us rich, and he was moved by a great love and compassion for us. God's great love for us was made real in Jesus Christ. Today, we are called to make real the spirit of Christmas, which is love, by revealing the love of God to the needy and poor. Here are a few ways to show God's love in a tangible way during this Christmas season. Care for the sick, feed the hungry, share your gifts, care for the earth, help the elderly, respect the elders, forgive your enemy, show a bit of love to the person whom you don't like. Christmas is a day when the joy of giving is celebrated. Today, we have come here as one family to share the joy of Christmas with one another. As we partake in this Holy Eucharist, let us remember that the hearts that celebrate Christmas with joy and happiness is a giving heart, a wide open heart that thinks of others first. May the baby Jesus bless us to share his love with others and celebrate this Christmas in a meaningful way. May the blessings of Christmas fill everyone in this campus and the members of our family.